हरे कृष्णा। वो लाइट वो बंद है टाइमिंग का उधर। हाँ यहाँ पे चलता। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीर वनचारी, यमुना तीर वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे हरे राम राम हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम राम राम, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Jaya Jagannath, Jagannath, Baladev Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शताभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन प्रतिष्ठाताचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्ति गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बंधु की जय। हरे कृष्ण। थोड़ा नहीं। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवताद् अहेतुकी त्वयि नैष्टिकी। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, Text 15. We'll recite the text and read the translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and we'll discuss on this. Yaduktam patidrishtena गिरीशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयता। यदुक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरीशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयताः यदुक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरीशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयता। हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। उसके बाद पूजयन्त यदुक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरीशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयता। यदुक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरीशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयता। यदुक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरीशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च। Anybody else? Mataji said no. So, word to word meaning yat, that, uktam, said, pati, on the way, drishtena, while meeting Girisena by Lord Shiva, prasidata, being very much satisfied, tat, that, dhyayantah, meditating, japantah cha, chanting also, pujyantah cha, worshipping also, samvyatah, with great control. Translation. When all the sons of Prachinibari left home to execute austerity, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinibari meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Please repeat. When all the sons of Prachinibari left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinibari meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Purport. It is clear that to perform austerities or penances, or for that matter, any form of devotional service, one has to be guided by a spiritual master. Here it is clearly stated that the 10 sons of Maharaj Prachinibari were favored by the appearance of Lord Shiva, who out of great kindness gave them instructions regarding the execution of austerities. Lord Shiva actually became the spiritual master of the 10 sons, and in turn his disciples took his words so seriously that simply by meditating upon his instructions, dhyayantaha, they became perfect. This is the secret of success. Sri Sri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan ji ki jai. Sri Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai. After being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciple should unhesitatingly think about the instructions or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. This is also the verdict of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who, while explaining verse of Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Ekeha Kurunandana, Bhagavad Gita 2.41, points out that the order of the spiritual master is the life substance of the disciple. The disciple should not consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be to execute the order of his spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is the perfectional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon that order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Damayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमं Hare Krishna. So, I seek blessings from all Vaishnava, specifically His Grace Anandmaya Prabhu here, to speak on this Bhagavatam. So, we are this chapter entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva, actually. So, this is here the discussion of King Prachinibari and his 10 sons called Prachetas. They are highly elevated and great personalities coming from the great lineage of Dhruva Maharaj. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam gives all standard examples, whether devotee or demon, all standard examples, standard circumstances, standard situations, means highly situations very dangerous like that, or this situation, and standard processes actually, and standard principles Bhagavatam gives, means all are extreme, means talking about the extreme, ultimate type, not ordinary actually. Though the standard principles are very standard, applications varies according to the level of devotees actually. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam has to be learned under the lotus feet of Bhagavata, or we say bona fide spiritual master only, because application varies, even though principles are standard actually. So at what level which this application has to be applied at, this make difference actually. And for that I am not qualified, but whatever I heard and understood theoretically, practically, I will try to speak on this subject matter. Here we see this Prachetas, they are highly elevated persons. Lord Shiva became the spiritual master of them and gave these instructions regarding execution of austerities. Here it says that Samyata, austerities. Prabhupada says, it is clear that to perform austerities and penance, or for that matter any form of devotional, one has to be guided by a spiritual master. So if, human form of life is life of responsibilities. Nayam deho dehavajamni loke kastan kaman arate vidbhujambe vidbhujambe tapo divya putrkayena sattvam tasma suddhe tasmat brahma sokhyam anantam. So this human form of life, nayam bhajo. So it is a life of full of responsibility. Nayam bhajo. It is kastan kaman arhate vedbhujambe. It's full of suffering there. Kastas means difficulties. We have to go through all sufferings here. Kastan, kaman. But those austerities, if we make for fulfilling our desire, which is just like hogs and dogs, they want to enjoy themselves and for our enjoyment, this is not for that purpose. Nayam bhajo dehaloti. This human life is not meant for that. Kastan kamar adhote vijvijambe tapo divyam enaka. It is our life. There is kasta. What is kasta? Austerity. Anyhow we have to go for suffering. Why don't we go for kastan, tapo divyam, for achieving the highest, which perfect our life, for getting the highest achievement. We say that attending transcendental, our transcendence actually. So tapo divyam putraka, Rishabdev is instructing to his sons, tapo divyam putraka ena sattvam. What happened? Brahma sokhyam tvanantam. Tapo divyam putraka ena sattvam suddhet. Then we get purified. Suddhet tasmat. Thereafter, suddhet tasmat. Brahma sokhyam. Will get satisfaction. Brahma sokhyam. Deep satisfaction. Atma santusti. That is we can say. Tapodivam Brahma Sokhyam Tva Anantam, which is unlimited. Anyhow, we have to do kasta and take austerity here for temporary pleasures. Why don't we take the austerity for permanent pleasure? That is what is the, says Bhagavatam also. So even form of life is very responsible life. Or so we have to take voluntarily. Here also we see prachetas, they are gone, they left home to execute austerities. Actually, Father Prachinibari told them to you progenate and increase the human race actually. So, but before that, what is there? Austerity. So, austerity they have taken voluntarily. So, in order to attain divine line or transcendental platform, this is there. But they are already elevated. They are on the already transcendental platform. That's why they are prachetas, cheta. Cheta means consciousness. Pracheta, highly elevated consciousness is there, prachetas. And for them, the spiritual master should be very highly elevated personality should be there. So there's why he says, Lord Shiva appeared when they were going for doing this austerity. All this detail will come in following text. So he became, Lord Shiva became the spiritual master of the 10 sons. And in turn his disciple took his word so seriously. So yes, they have taken the guidance. Even whatever level one may be, here we are seeing that they are on the transcendental platform, still they are taking the guidance, instructions from the spiritual master. But spiritual master will be of that cadre, not an ordinary one actually. Why? Because this is the example is given. Prachetas, they are already transcendental. To make them more perfect, and at every level, monitoring is required. Monitoring, austerities. Because one can take austerity as he likes, not the austerity as is said to him. That is there. One want to take more austerity than what is said, but one cannot take the austerity which is even small, which is said. This is there, tendency is there. We can see now we are practicing here Krishna consciousness, chanting and doing. But people are there, they are doing more austerity than this. They like to do it because they want to do it. But what is good for us, that is to be known actually. This is Bhagavatam says actually. There are so many religions are there. They fast like anything. Do fasting and like that. 3 days, no water, all these things. But for what? That is the mean. Ultimately, for what? Here we see Bhagavatam see Sansiddhim Hari Toshnam. For the satisfaction of Lord. Nothing else actually. If that is the focus is there actually. So here he says no. So taking the guidance from those who are focused, that's why one has to take guidance from those who are focused in their life. Sansiddhim Hari Toshnam. The purpose is to give pleasure to the Lord actually. Or focused in purpose are those who are perfected also, or those who are focusing on this perfection. So there is Prabhupada says that not only meditating in the last says one should be meditate upon the order. Not only he should meditate upon the, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. One is there, we always hear that we have to meditate upon the instructions. No, but execution is important actually. So, but also finding means by which. So, here we see Prachetas, they are already on liberated platform. Even then, Srimad Bhagavatam giving standard principles of accepting spiritual master. This is the principle. So, at every level, one has to accept the spiritual master. Or Lord Shiva acting as spiritual master gave them instruction. And now it is going to coming following in the form of, it is called Rudra Gita, is going to come actually. So, Rudra Gita, and they have already elevated, and they are, it's called perfect, more like this is there. So, Mahajano Yenagata Sapantha, we have to follow whatever Mahajana says. Swayambhu Narada Sambhu, Kumara Kapilo Manu. So, Swayambhu Narada Sambhu, he is also one Mahajan, Lord Shiva. He became their spiritual master, Mahajano Yenagata Sapantha actually. So Prabhupada saying, this is the secret of success in spiritual life actually. So we see, and Prabhupada also focus further. So what is the lessons we can draw or learn practically from this to uplift ourselves from moving from conditional platform to transcendental? Here we see Prachetas, they are already on transcendental platform and they are moving further, more perfectionist. Whereas we are not yet in perfect transcendental, we are on the conditional platform, we can say material platform in the modes of nature actually. So, what lesson we can learn? Shall we go like Prachetas, do austerity for 10,000 years in the water? Is it because one principle accepting spiritual master, applying instructions. So their instruction given to them is on that level and higher level. And our position, we are still not yet on transcendental platform. We are on conditional platform. So, what lessons we can, by gradually moving from initial faith to transcendental faith. We have Shraddha, and then we have to have the, it says no, Shraddha sabde Vishwase, Sudruda Nischay, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Karma Karta, actually. So, the Shraddha has to be taken forward to to make it to transcendental faith level actually. So Prabhupada gives here the order also. So what are that? So when we reach to transcendental faith, then we'll attain Atma Tushti, full satisfaction of heart actually. Deeper level of satisfaction we can say, not full, deeper level of satisfaction we get. And Prabhupada give what to do. This is the secret of success. So what is do? After being initiated, receiving the order of the spiritual master, the disciple should, it says, first is to accept spiritual master, get initiated and receive the order. Orders are given, you have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly. That's the instruction. And also follow four regulative principle, read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, preach, hear and chant, and to take prasadam, all these instructions we have received actually. And Prabhupada says, the disciple should unhesitatingly think about the instruction. One should not hesitate what is going to happen or what is not going to happen. Without thinking for result, just focus, unhesitatingly think about instructions order. And Prabhupada says, not to allow to disturbance by anything else. So many disturbance will come. And this is, and Prabhupada give this, the sloka Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Reke Kurunandana, which is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also highlighted, and which Prabhupada himself took it very seriously, the instruction of spiritual master. That's why he could able to preach all over the world. That is what his success is there actually. So, focusing on this Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, that is the order of the spiritual master, and it should be life and substance, which Prabhupada took it as a substance, sar. Even not, Prabhupada says here, even not considering going back home, back to Godhead or not. This is what the seriousness of the instructions, not thinking of the result actually there. So the point is that why to focus like this? This is. So we'll see some analytically what is. So we can evaluate the instructions order grossly on material level and also on sublime, spiritually on sublime level, very on transcendental level also we can see. The first reason is why to focus, because we have unlimited material desires. So unless focus is there, the material desires keeps on coming to us in different way actually. So to eliminate the any sort of material desire, just like he said na, bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami. So material desire for enjoyment, mukti also, siddhi also, perfectionist, kami, any type of desires, sakale asant, they will not be peaceful actually. So that's why focus is required. If we are disturbed, that says that, this shows that if we are disturbed, then we have to see that we are not focused. That's all. That's the point comes out of it actually. We are not focused on in our life actually. So on gross level, we look for material benefits, gross material, enjoyment with gross sense objects, and there are subtle sense objects are there about our achievement, about our accomplishments. We want to be recognized for their achievements and accomplishments. That has to go to be, we have to be get free from. And actually we have to have the spiritual upliftment. To have the spiritual upliftment, we have to get free from our root problem. And the root problem is of our fruitive mentality and our doership mentality is there. We want to enjoy. That is, both a mentality make us separatist, develop our separatist mentality. Separate from Lord and enjoy separate from Lord and do our activities. It says no Bhagavad Gita, ahankar ityam me bhinna prakriti. So that is what is called that everything the modes are doing, but we see that I am the doer actually. This is the doership mentality there. Out of this doership mentality is very, very dangerous actually. This doership mentality keep us envy, keep envy within us. So we want to prove something on our own. That is, whereas we are insignificant, we are dependent, and we are fallen also, but still we want to prove ourselves. This is there. We are pretender, we are offender, still we want to prove. So, this separate mentality, and to clear from the root, so we have to also practice on root. Root means focus, not on the results actually. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Vasudeva is the only object of our life. His pleasure is only our pleasure actually. So, because of this unlimited material desires, we are conditions, so it requires monitoring. Because again and again, this cheating mentality enters into us actually. So, and again it has to be rectified and monitored properly actually. Just like sometimes what happens, even though we are on the spiritual path, we bring down to spiritual to religiosity, to morality. It is a bringing down the spiritual part to morality. Sometimes people, that's why say no, morality, oh, why you are chanting all? Open 100 hospitals. That is good. Morality. Our morality can be applied when 4 thieves are there. They after what is called bribe, stealing, they sit together and they said, morality, honestly we have to distribute. This a different type of morality can be applied in different levels actually. So, this bringing down the spirituality to morality, and when bringing down the morality to religiosity also is there actually. That is called sakam. Religiosity start with sakam. That what is there for me actually. The heaven is also there in religiosity. Somaras is there, and also like that religiously so many people do homa, jyotish homa, like that. They bring down the spirituality to, and they say that this is the highest also actually. And also Bhagavad Gita say, Bhogeswarya prasaktanam taya aparatachetasam avyavasayatmika buddhi. What is there? Something is there. Bhogeswarya prasaktanam taya aparatachetasam samadona vidhyate. Yes. So, Bhog and Aishwarya is mixed with, I want to enjoy and I want to be Aishwarya. Possessiveness is there actually. Whereas this spirituality is moving from Sakam to Niskam. That is the bridging is there from religiosity to spirituality. Niskam Karma Yoga is there, Buddhi Yoga is there. And everywhere Karma Yoga is there, in morality also, religiosity also, spirituality. But what type of karma? That is the important actually. So, and again spirituality, we are in problem. impersonalist, personalist, pseudo-personalist, whatever, yatho mat tato pat actually is there actually. So everywhere problem is there. And we want a human tendency, easy way, shortcut method, not going with austerities. But whatever we want, we will take austerity. But whatever we don't want, for that austerity, we are not ready actually. This is the thing is there actually. So, but the purpose is there in Bhagavad Gita. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya. To know Lord, know Krishna, to please Him actually. Ahameva vedya. So, that's why if clear understanding is missing, then what happens? This the difference between body and we cannot differentiate from body. Whenever the clarity is not there, we'll act on the bodily platform, mental platform, intellectual platform, but not spiritual platform, transcendental platform actually. So, fruitive desire captures. When we are not clear, fruitive desire captures us actually. And that's why we say now, the order is there, keep chanting offenselessly. Keep chanting offenselessly. Because again and again we are captured by the fruitive desires. Again, doership mentality and all these things are there. And that's why we are called chant offenselessly and hearing from focused person. This is the very important actually. Even though we are chanting again, but we are not hearing from focused person or who person, if not Bhagavata, at least focused person. Sometimes they, oh, who is the Bhagavata or not, we will evaluate on our mental way. At least focused person is there. If we hear from him, actually, so then our intelligence gets sharpened actually. This is what is there, hearing from. So here, the Prachetas, they left home. They could have done austerities on their own without taking the instruction from Lord Shiva. But they have to move forward. From whatever level they have to move forward. So at every level, we require instructions and monitoring. Instructions and monitoring. We take instruction, but we hesitate to allow monitoring. That is the problem. Because a tendency, cheating tendency there, own agenda comes in actually. This is the problem. So that's why Bhagavad Gita says, Mayyeva mana adastva mai buddhim nivesayet. We have to completely, Mayyeva mana, mind has to be absorbed. Mayyeva mana adastva mai buddhim nivesayet. Completely in the instructions, where we cannot in the lotus feet of Lord and go and mind to be absorbed there and intelligence. This is also something is because there should be gradual way of working actually. There are two types of approaches: esoteric approach and appropriate exoteric approach is there. Even while following the instructions, and both are given in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, exoteric. That is, and Bhagavatam says, Srotavya Kirtitavya Dheya Pujyasya Nityada actually. We have to do a regular, in the Nityada, is here also very important. Sanyata, Samyataha, with great control. This is very important. Control. So, what is this? Esoteric approach is a very confidential approach. Guhya, good approach is there. And exoteric approach, it's actually imitating without qualification. This is called exoteric approach. this is popular, means it's there. Even in our sampradaya also, people want, okay, go to Radha Kund, practice there, be like a Baba. This is an exoteric approach, directly. Even though we are not yet purified, we want to perfect. First is to purification, then perfection. This is what the Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they have taken the esoteric approach. First to, from gradually we have to go, not to imitate immaturely. This is what is there actually. So, this is called, this esoteric approach is called Antahapatha, and exoteric path called Bahyapatha. By external appearances, Bahyapatha. Both are given here. Bahyapatha, this Vakreshwar Pandit has promulgated, and means though at that level you can show that, means just like with normal we have dress, keeping sikha, mundane and all this. And what happens sometimes we are not on that level but we dress as a Babaji, means exoteric approach. Not on that level but we are dressing like that, showing that, assuming ourselves that all come in exoteric approach actually. Bahyapatha actually. So some people have started following that Bahyapatha. It's there. If you are at that level, show that level. Not premature showing actually there. That's why for esoteric approach, it leads to go to Manasiksha by Raghunath Das Goswami also. Deep esoteric approach is there actually. And which is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada also has given. Not just like, this is called a Sahajiya mentality also, one way says, exoteric approach. Or following hard, doing hard austerity to achieve this. Even though, this is called Siddha Pranali also. Sometimes I want to perfectionist Siddha Pranali. But Gaur Keshoda Maharaj says, our Siddha Pranali is chanting offenselessly, attentively. That is Siddha Pranali. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Name Ruchi, Jivedaya, Vaishnav Seva. This is Siddha Pranali is there actually. And so, we are not prachetas, we cannot imitate, we have to follow actually. So, we are not prachetas, we are achetas. We are not properly conscious, acheta. So, our practice to follow whatever our Prabhupada said, whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very strictly we have to go through, even though sometimes looks like, oh, you are still in preliminary stage. Okay, no problem. That preliminary stage is good for us, not advanced stage. Prematurely is not good. That's why, what is we have to focus? We have to focus on chanting offenselessly and practicing Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Saisnuna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadare. This is our esoteric approach is there. There, whatever may be our level, we may be fallen or whatever. Let's say, no, Patita Pavan Hetu Tava Avatar. So even if we consider fallen, because this avatar is for fallen person only. And also, Visaya, so many bhajans are also there. Say, Visaya chadiya kabe suddha hobe mana. First Visaya chadiya, then suddha hobe mana. So this is, and that too, again one principle is there, under guidance. This is important principles. We have to allow monitoring. That is the guidance. One guidance that I accepted spiritual master. But what is about continuous monitoring? If we are not voluntarily allowing, who will monitor us? No one will monitor us. And if we allow our mind to monitor, he will create havoc. Mind will create havoc. That's why that manasiksha is there. What to tell mind, how to tell mind, and what is there. So very deep things are there, manasiksha. So this is what something we have to learn from Bhagavatam. Even though principles are standard, practical applications varies according to our level. So this is something whatever I understood and heard, I just express you. If anything is not maybe beyond my realization, please forgive me. If any questions, comments is there. Anything? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।